Alright, so we want to look at what we call nested style. Now, nested style is a style in a style. Okay, we want to create paragraph styles into object styles, and also want to create character styles into paragraph styles. So that's why I create a new document. Now I want this to be 3. Now turn on facing pages, number of columns, just leave it that way because it will be the margin 0.5, blah blah blah. Now click on OK. Now Windows view and come to fit spread in Windows. Now come here. Now let's go ahead and create what we call test frame and add some text to it. First of all, let me turn this to opens and use regular. Let me this to be 14. Now place with fill text. So that's it. Now we want to create nested styles. We'll go ahead and create a new test frame over here. And also fill place with a text. Now I want to create an object style with this. I want to create an object style. Already you know how to create an object style, but in order for me to add a character style into my object style, what will I do? So let me start by creating a character style in a paragraph style. Okay, so now let's zoom in. I want to create a character style in a paragraph style. That's the first thing I want to do. Okay, so now pick your text tool. Let's come here and go to paragraph formatting controls. Let's add some drop cap to it. Okay, so I think all is okay. Now let's try and Control A to select all. Let's add some space between our paragraphs. Now, after doing that, we have created a character style. Okay. And why am I saying that we have created a character style? Guess it before we go on. Guess it. Why am I saying we created a character style? Now, we have created a paragraph style because this is a paragraph over here. This here is a paragraph. This over here is a paragraph, and we have created a drop cap in this paragraph that you see over here. That's a drop cap in it. And what I want to do with it is now I want to save this paragraph style. Okay, so I'll just put the I'll click anywhere and after clicking anywhere, what I want to do is just want to come to a paragraph style, which is this. So Windows styles and paragraph styles. Okay, so now I'll just come here, hold Alt and click on it. And say I want it to be drop cap paragraph style. Cap paragraph style. Okay. So you have to then now click on apply styles to selection. And now click on preview and click on OK. Now I've created this paragraph style. There you have it. But I want this, alright, but I want to change the color of this, and also I want to change the font. Okay, so I've finished creating my character style and I've finished with my paragraph style. But now what I want to do is that I want to create a character style for the paragraph style. Okay, I want to create a character style for this paragraph style. Now I've created a paragraph style which is drop cap paragraph style, but I want to make some changes to this thing. Okay, this first word here, which is the U. Let's say I want to change the font, so let me come to properties. Now the font, let me choose a different font that I can use. Okay, so I think the Astilla is very perfect for me, so I want to use this Astilla font, and I want to change the color to, let me take green. So I'll come here, change the color to green. Okay, so now there we have it. And now I have this like this. Okay, what I have to do is I have to create a character style for this. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a character style. So Windows, styles, and then character styles. Okay, now let's go ahead and select this. Now come and hold Alt and click over here. Okay, so hold Alt and click. Now we have Astilla plus color C75, blah blah blah. That's the color. Okay, and now check apply style to selection and check preview. And now what's the name? Is green drop cap. That's what I want, how I want to save my green drop cap. Okay, so now with this, based on, I'll just select none. Okay, and I'll click on OK. Now after doing this, let me go ahead and apply it. So now I have the paragraph style over here, and I also have the drop cap also over there. So this is the one that I created with the character style, which is this one, and this is my paragraph style. I have drop cap paragraph style. It is the one, only the one that I have over here. Okay, now let's see if I try to do the same changes over on this paragraph, whether it will happen. So now click here and I apply this drop cap paragraph style. Now look, this didn't happen because I haven't nested this green character or paragraph character style into the paragraph style. Please, I'm sure you get me. Okay, so this one that I did, character style that I just did, okay, is what it has to be nested into the paragraph style. I have to put it in the paragraph style. If not, there's no way it will show for me to use it on other paragraphs. Okay, so I have to nest it. Now let's go back to the drop cap paragraph style, and now what we'll do is that, let's see what will happen to this. I'll come to what we call drop caps and nested styles. Okay, so general drop caps and nested styles. I'll click on it and it will ask me the character style that I want to apply or I want to nest. Okay, because we are doing drop caps and nested style, it will ask me what I want to nest. Then I'll come here and choose the green drop caps. Okay, and now you can see that as I nested it, you see that this one also changed. Okay, then I'll just come and click on OK. So now if I also come here to, and when I click on this drop cap paragraph style, you see that it has nested. I have a character style here, which is green drop cap. I can come there and just select this and now click on it. Okay, and now look at what happened to it. It just since it's a character style, by itself. You see what happened. It didn't pick the options of the paragraph style. Okay, so that's what happens to that. So now we have been able to learn how to create what we call nesting character styles into paragraph styles. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at how we can nest what we call character paragraph styles into object styles. We want to look at how to nest paragraph styles into object styles. Okay, so now let's say I want to go ahead and create my text box. Let me go ahead and create a new one. So before, let me go to edit, let's see, object, fitting, and then fit frame to content. Let me come and create. We'll go to view, yes, okay, and let's come here, create a new text frame. Okay, so now with my new text frame created, I want to add color to the text frame. So I'll come here with the text frame selected. I'll come and add color to it. Let me add this color. Okay, so now we have color added to it. And now I've told you that every text frame is an object. Okay, every text frame is an object, so we consider it as creating object style for it. Okay, so now with this, I can decide to even add some transparencies to it. I can add some borders or strokes to it. Okay, but I don't want it that way, so let's go ahead and come to Windows, styles, and then object styles, and create a new object style for it. So hold Alt and click here, and maybe let's call it blue text frame. Based on basic text frame. Okay, or you can just click on none, and now apply styles to selection, then click on OK. Okay, so we have it over here. This is the object style we just created. And now what do we want to do with the object styles? We want to add some words to it. Okay, we want to add some words to it. Now let's go ahead and then add some text to it. I just want to add a few text to fill with place with that text, and then let me delete some from it. Okay, there we go. And let's go back to our object style. Now double click in our object style. What are we looking for? These are some options that we always see when we are working with object styles. Okay, these are some of the options that we see when we are working with them. So this is called blue text frame. That's the style's name, and it's based on nothing. We want to add a paragraph style to it. And what's the paragraph style that we want to add to it? We want to add some of the paragraph style that we have created. So I'll come here and it will be like this, and you just click here to check it. And now they will ask you paragraph styles, and you come basic paragraph styles. You come and choose the one that you created. So which one did we create? We created the drop cap para style. You click on it and check apply next style. Okay, and what you do is that you just click on OK, and you can see that the character style has been applied. So now here, what have we done? We've nested what we call a paragraph style into an object style, and at the same time we've also nested a character style into the paragraph style. Okay, that's what we've done over here. So this is one way of nesting styles. Okay, it's very simple, and I'm sure we understand it. So if you want to add another, you can just come here and create a text frame here, and I'll just do fill with placeholder text, and I'll come to my object styles. So with it selected, my object style, I can say I want it to be blue text frame, and you can see what happened. Okay, it picked what we did, and that's very simple way of creating it. Now let's come and look at something we call borders and shading. Borders and shading. Now let's go ahead and file, create new file, new document. Sometimes I misunderstand for Photoshop for InDesign because the features look exactly the same, but I usually like the way I'm using Photoshop, and it can be a little bit frustrating. Now let's go ahead and add 3 pages and 10 facing pages. Number of columns should be 1. And now let's click on OK. Now I have this text that I want us to bring in. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to File, Place, and bring in this full text. Make sure you check Show Import Options. Now remove styles and formatting from text and tables. Now click on OK. So what can we do? Let's just come here, hold Shift and click here to place it at the same time for us. Okay, so now we've brought in our text. Let's go ahead and select all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I want to use Roboto. I want to use Roboto, and I want to use Roboto Light, and this to 13, and then now let me go to my paragraph style and add some paragraphs spacing to it. Okay, so let's add more spacing. And now let's make this all caps. Come back here, make this also all caps. You can just create a style for it. Okay, so I'm just passing through the difficult way so that you have to know that I have to create a style for it. Let's make this also Roboto black. So when you create a style for it, it becomes very simple for you. Okay, you don't have to go ahead and changing all. So now let's create I want us to do what we call span and split. So let's go here and create a new style for it. So click here and just hold Alt and click here. And now let's add some shading to it. So paragraph shading, and I want the color to be, check this please, I don't want the color to be black, but I want it to be something like this, and automatically I tint to be on 20, so you can decide to add some of the tint to it. Okay, so there we go, we've added some tint to it. You can decide I want the offset, I want it to come over this place, so that's where you look at the offset. Okay, so you want left, you can do it this way, and you've added some to it. Okay, that's one way of doing that. And after doing this, you can just click on OK. So you can just play around with it and see how it works for you. Okay, you can just play around with it and see how it works for you. So you can come and change the indent and spacings over here. Now let's click on OK. We have it this way. And now let's look at how we can add bullets to this. So we select all. First of all, then let me bring it somewhere here. Let me select all, cut, and bring it somewhere here, and let me paste it. So now I'll select all, come to my paragraph style and add some bullets to it. Okay, so there we go. We've added our bullets to it, as you can see over here. Now I want to create two columns for this. Okay, this I want to create two columns for this, so I'll click on it, the text frame, and then come to my paragraph style, and I want to make two frames. So let me go into my properties and make the text frame 2. So there we go. I have the text frame is 2. Now my text frame is 2 now. Okay, but I want this one to go over to this place. I want it to be like on their own line, and I don't want to create a different text frame for it. Okay, but I want it to do the changes over here. So what will I do? All that I will do is that I'll just, so we've created two columns for this, and now what I want to do is that I don't want this to be this way, but I want it to span or expand to this place. So that's where we use the span and split columns. Okay, and I also want this to be two columns. Okay, so what will I do? First of all, I have to come here and click in the paragraph over here, and then I'll have to be on my paragraph formatting controls and come to this place, and now I'll look for span columns and I'll click on it. And what I'll do is that I'll just paragraph layouts, I'll come and choose span columns. Okay, and then make sure you check preview and see that now you have it like this way, and then I'll click on OK. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted this paragraph to come over here. That's what I wanted to do. And now I want this place to, this one to also have two columns. Okay, now what do I do? I'll select all. So you have to select all. Let's edit and do typing. Select all, and I'll come into my paragraph formatting controls. Also come to this place, and then come to the same place, span columns. This time I will split columns. Okay, and I'll click on OK. So you see how I've been able to split it into two. So you can decide to split it into three. It depends on how you want it. Okay, so span columns. So split columns, so you can see I want it to be three. And simple. I have two columns. So this is advanced for spanning and splitting columns. It's very simple. It helps you without creating a new text frame for these things that I did that you do. So now, what else do we want to do? We want to look at how to create an auto size frame, an auto size text frame. Okay. So now I can see I'll put the text frame like this, and I'll say I want a word to be in it, and maybe I want information. Maybe I use a font of the font of 47. Now what I'm talking about is, you can see that some of the text have hidden. Okay, it is hidden, then I have to do what, expand the text frame, but I don't want it that way. I want it to be automatic. As I type or enlarge it, the text frame should enlarge by itself. Okay, the text frame should enlarge by itself. That's what I want us to look at. Okay, so we want to look at what we call auto size text frame. And how do we do this thing? Okay, so it's very simple, and the simplest way to do this is to just go to objects and then text frame options. Okay, or you can just click on this and then go to text frame options, and now come to auto size, and now it should be on off. Okay, it should be on off when you switch that yours on. And now come to, you can decide to switch on, turn on the stretch to the height only, width only, height and width. I want to do that with a width only. Okay, and I'll check break no lines. Now also here yours will be in the middle, but I bring it over here, which means that the width only is stretches from this to this place, so it goes this way. Okay, now click on OK. Now let's see. I'll bring my test frame, and now what I'll do is that let me go ahead and type in something. So let me use the font size to be 25, and let me use Union Pro bold, and let me type in something like the same diffusion. So if it didn't work, then it means that your test frame didn't extend. So let's go to Control B, test frame options, and now come to auto size, and it should be on width only. And then what do? Click on OK. Now let's go ahead and change the settings. Click on an empty area, go to edit, object, test frame options. Now come to auto sizing. Now come to width only. Now check this, okay, and click on OK. So let's go ahead and draw another test frame again. So this is how I want mine to be, and I want the font size to be 25. And let me type in diffusion. Now you can see that it's extended for us. Okay, so that's it. So let me try another one. Just want it to be this way. Okay, and you see that how small the test frame is, and this one. So I'm writing the same diffusion into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and 25, and the family should be bold. Let's type in diffusion. Okay, so you can see that as I type in, it is extending. Okay, so that's what we call about auto test frame or auto sizing, test frame size. Now let's look at something here. We should maybe always, when we are doing working with test, you can see that most of the times it gives you red lines underneath your words. It means that maybe your word wasn't spelled well, so there are mistakes in it. Now maybe yours isn't showing, so what do you have to do? You have to go to edit. Now you go to your preferences, and now come to general. Okay, and then come to your spellings. Now what we want to do is that we want to make sure that anytime there's a spelling mistake, it should be able to detect it and underline it for us. Okay, so we have to enable a dynamic spelling. Okay, so we enable it, and now you can decide to misspell words. You can decide to change the color or change any of these things, the color of any of these things. So it's very simple. Okay, and now you can also come to autocorrect. And autocorrect, you have to enable autocorrect so that it enables the autocorrect for you. Anytime that you have a mistake, you can do that thing. Okay, so that's also it. And let's also check another thing, which is the let's see. Okay, so let's click on OK over here. And one thing that you can also do is you can just come to edit and come to spell check. Where do we have the spell check? So edit spelling and then check spelling. Okay, so it will check the spellings for you anytime you want to do spell check. So you just come to edit and then spellings and come to check spelling to make sure that maybe there's a mistake over here. So here it said not in dictionary Kumasi, change to, you can decide to change it. If not, you can just leave it that way, or you can skip or ignore all. Okay, and then the love to the same thing, you can skip ignore all and those things, and then you can just click on done. So that's one way too of also checking for the spellings. Now we want to look at what we call ligatures. Alright, so let's look at the type of fonts that we have at our disposal. Now we want to look at the open type fonts and true type fonts. So let's take our type 2. Now we have some fonts that are the one that with TT over here is true type fonts, and meaning you cannot make that much changes to these types of fonts. And also have the OT, meaning we can make some changes to it. So now let's go ahead and experience it to see what we are talking about. Now let's draw our test frame, and I want this to be 40. So hold shift, just click here. Now let's type in young boy. Control A. Now I want to increase the spacing between them. So what are we talking about? Now you can see this one, you see there's a O here, and this O, when you click on it, it says set 1, set 2, and this set 2, they were made by the one who created this font. He knows that maybe it's not everybody who will like these things, so now we can change it whether we want it, or we can decide not to bring it. Okay, so it was made by the one who created this font. Now we can make these changes by selecting all and then selecting any of these. Okay, or we can just select only one like this and then make it the change to it. Okay, so this open type fonts, these are some of the changes. So if you are not seeing this thing, make sure you go to edit, preferences, and then go to advanced type, and make sure you check this one, check it and click on OK. Now let's also look at open true type fonts. So now let's go ahead and duplicate this Alt and duplicate it. And now pick our type 2, Control A, select all, and then send it to a true type font like Adodin headline bold. Okay, so now let's see if you can make changes to it. Now when you click here, it says open type properties are not applicable, meaning this one it has no open type properties and we cannot make changes to it. But some of the true type fonts, some of them have what we call ligatures associated with it. Now let's look at one font that has ligatures associated with it, and that makes our text very beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead, use 40, and let's click love and power. And I want to use Control A to select. I want to use a font which is called Roger Laviena. So now love and power, you can see how it looks. Okay, I want to click here. It says open type properties are not applicable. Okay, it's not applicable, but we have something called ligatures that makes the text very beautiful. Okay, so now let's go ahead and click it. Let's go to what we call Windows and type and tables and come to character. Now let's click on the dots lines over here, and now you can see that when this is what we call the ligatures. Okay, now the ligatures has been turned off right now. Okay, and now when we turn the ligatures on, you can see what happens to our font. Okay, so that's what we call ligatures, and ligatures makes our work very beautiful. Now let's also go and look at another thing. We have our fonts here for us, but now sometimes when we are exporting our fonts, we have to make sure that we make them all into outline, and so that when we print it, we not get mistakes with our text. Okay, so now how do we turn our text into outline? Okay, let's look at it. This one, I want to use a font that is called Mount. and let's use heavy demo. Let's say I want this to be 50 or 60. Let's say money. Okay, Control A. Let me make it a little bit larger. Now, to turn this into an outline, so now let's look at how we can change our text into a shape or turn it into an outline. So all you have to do is that just select it, Control A to select it, and then come to type. And now what you do is that create outlines, so it becomes an outline for us. Now it's no longer a text and you cannot edit it. It's no longer a text, it is what become a shape. Okay, so now we can even add image to it. So you can come to file, place, and then you can even add an image to it. Okay, so just click in it and the image will be placing. So right click, fit in, and then fit content to frame. Okay, that's very simple. That's very simple, and you can adjust it anyhow you want it. Okay, now that's it. So now one thing that I also want us to look at is wrapping text or wrapping images to text, or wrapping text to images. Okay, so let me zoom out and now let me show. Okay, so let's look at how to wrap text around an image. So make sure you go back to where you were these same settings before coming to, otherwise the changes will be made as you go on. Also make sure to turn off your auto fill, okay, your auto text frame. Yes, auto text frame, so make sure to turn it off. And now let's create this document. Turn off facing pages, and page size should be letter margin 0.5, and let's click on OK. Now create a text frame box or text frame. Just fill it with placeholder text. Okay, now let's go ahead and place an image file. You can just shift or click on Command D, and then let's open this image. And let's draw it like this. Okay, now this means there's no text wrap, and this means wrap around bounding box. You can also find it over here in the properties panel, and you can do that by just clicking. Okay, or when you want it in a rounded one, you can just do like this, and that's that for us. We have many options that you can play around with it and see how it works. Okay, so that's how to wrap text around your images. Okay, we can even make some adjustments with this. Can make some adjustments with it, and so we'll look at it properly. Okay, so this is just, I would just want to introduce you to it and see how it works, and then we'll work with it properly in our other thing. We want to look at fonts or text, how to use the text in Adobe InDesign, and how to get good fonts to use. Okay, so now there are many places where we can get fonts for personal use and commercial use, free ones and others that you have to buy in order to get them. Okay, so there are fonts that when you search fonts, you can get them to use on your project. Okay, now in our designs that we'll be doing, mostly what will happen is that we will be using sans serif fonts and mostly script fonts that we'll be using. So these are examples of sans serif fonts: Bebasino, Go Vitica, Akira expanded, and all these fonts are sans serif fonts. They are fonts that they do not have like special characters to it, like uh, fonts that they haven't been distorted that much. They are like regular fonts, so they are sans serif fonts. So you will need a regular font, a normal font. You will need one, and also you will need a script font. So script fonts have been distorted. Some are handwritten. Okay, so we will need some of these fonts in designing our magazine, newspapers, and everything containing layout that we'll be doing. So that's it. We'll be needing these fonts for it. So at least one sans serif font and another script font. Now, for instance, when I see a font on someone's work and I say, wow, I love this font, mostly I normally come to this website, what font it is. So when I go there, font finder by what font is, I just go and after downloading that person's image, I come here and then add my image to it, and what happens is that I'm able to extract the font from these things, and even I'm not get the exact font, it gives me alternative fonts to use. Okay, so you can also use this website to extract fonts from other people's work and use the font for your own works. Okay, so you can also do that. So these are where I get my fonts and where I find my fonts to use in my project. So we will also go ahead and go and look at how to use our text frames, how to align them and other things. So let's move on into Adobe InDesign. Alright, so we want to learn how to import styles from other documents into other styles. So this will help when we are designing some magazines, or when we see a template and we love the style that was used and we want to import it into ours. Then we have to use this to import the styles. Now we have this print health magazine template, which is already in our exercise files working with text. It is in it, you can find it. And I have this one which is empty. There's no paragraph style or character style, any style associated with this. You can see over here we have some paragraph styles here. When we come to character styles, we also have some character styles here. And with calendars, it will either be cell styles or even any of the styles. Okay, so please take note, or even table styles that you want to import. That's, you have to use this format. Now we can decide to do it this way. For instance, let me come into my paragraph style of the print health magazine, come downwards like this, and let me find a text style that I can use. So I'll come and double click over here, and you can see that this text style is called, our paragraph style is called body text black over here. So if I want to import it, I can simply come to my selection tool, and then I'll come and select it. Let's see, right click and then copy. Then I'll come over here to my empty document. Now either right click and paste, or I'll come to edit and paste, and there you can see I have my body text black with plus here. You see that it came into my paragraph style. I can delete it, but still you will see that the body text black is over there. So anytime I decide to bring in a text, so let's say I bring in this text and I fill it and place with that text, I can come and choose the body text black after selecting it. Okay, and then body text black, and then the paragraph style will come inside for me, as you can see over here. Okay, So this is based on no paragraph style, and this is the body text black. Okay, that's one way of doing that. Or another way is, let me delete this, is for me, let me also delete this paragraph styles from it. So let me delete this. The other way I can do it as is just coming over here, okay, to the flat menu over here. I'll come over here, and then I'll come to load paragraph style if I want like one paragraph style or any other paragraph style. So with the one that I just did is for maybe uh loading maybe single styles and others, but if you want to use load more styles, then you have to use this one. So load paragraph styles or load all text styles. So all text styles, paragraph styles, character style, cell style, still all cell, even any style, okay, all text styles. So you come and load it here, and then you choose your the magazine or the document that you want to load the styles from. So I select this, and then I'll hit OK, open. Okay, so when I hit open, this is the option that it will give me, and based on this option, there are paragraph styles and there are also character styles that are all included. So let me see if I can come downwards, and okay, so when you see this A here, it is showing the character style. On this one, it is showing the paragraph styles. Okay, so you can decide to uncheck all and then select any of those that you want, or you can check all. Okay, now you can see sometimes to say it says conflict with existing style. So if it's conflict with existing style, you can click on it here like this and come here and maybe you choose auto rename. Okay, or you can come and still click here and use incoming definition, and if you don't want to rename it, just use incoming definition and it will import it for you as it is. Okay, and then all you have to do is just hit OK. So you can also check these things over here. It says incoming style definition, existing style definition, blah blah blah, but the ones that are important is what I've taught you. So you check all or uncheck some and select it, and then you hit OK. Now after hitting OK, you can see that all the styles have come here. So you have the character style over here, and then you also have the paragraph style over here. If there are any other styles, they will all come over here. So this is a way of importing styles from other documents into your new documents. Thank you.